My stepdaughter's boyfriend accused me of neglecting their son after I provided free childcare. Now that daycare has drained their wallets, they're begging me to take him back. I worked until my first grandchild was born, and then I retired to grandma's daycare. I have 5 grandchildren, 8 male from my stepson, 7 male from my son, 5 female, and 18-month male from my daughter. I babysat all of them with no issues or complaints. My stepdaughter and her boyfriend have been in non-stop drama since before the baby was born. When she was 10 weeks pregnant, they presented a 3-page list of rules for when I was babysitting. They said they wouldn't allow me to babysit if I didn't sign it. I said that I understood their need to do what was best for their baby, and assured them there would be no hurt feelings on my end when they made other childcare arrangements. Some of the rules were almost understandable, but most were downright ridiculous, and none of it would work for me. I don't remember them all, but some examples are: I can't take the baby anywhere without their permission. I can't watch more than 1 additional child while babysitting. I can't cook. I had to provide the full name, job, and address of any potential visitors ahead of time for their approval of the person being around their child. They have to know anytime I have a guest over and know who it is and how long they stay. My 9-year-old cat would have to be kept out of rooms where the baby would be, even when the baby wasn't there. I couldn't get another pet without their agreement. When she was 7 months along, they came back with revised rules in an attempt to compromise. I again let them know that their expectations would not fit with my life, and they should just find other childcare. 2 days after my stepdaughter went back to work, she called and asked if I could keep Cullen the next day. I agreed, but made it clear that I was going to provide safe, appropriate care according to my judgment, and I wasn't going to deal with complaints or whatever that I was violating their rules, because I wanted it very clear that I was not agreeing to any of that. My stepdaughter was okay on the days she picked Cullen up and dropped him off. I felt like she was interrogating me every time she picked him up, but it was tolerable, but her boyfriend was downright rude. I got to the point where I actually spent Sunday dreading the start of the week because of dealing with both of them, but especially his behavior. At a minimum, he'd pick up Cullen, make a big deal of partially undressing him, make at least one snide comment about my cat, or if I had any grandchild besides the 18-month-old, or if I had cooked or whatever. Then he'd say, "I guess we don't have any choice but to put up with this for now," or "I guess you are happy that you won." This went on for 4 months. I spoke to my stepdaughter several times about it. It all came to a head as Thanksgiving was approaching. He was very verbal about the fact that he didn't want me to keep all my grandchildren over the break. I made it very clear that there would be a couple of days that I had all of them, and that they needed to make other arrangements if they had a problem. They didn't make other arrangements, and when he picked Cullen up on the first day that I had all my grands, he was insulting. And although nothing happened, everyone was happy, clean, fed, had a great day. He said to Cullen that he was sorry that they had no choice except to leave him in an unsafe situation to be neglected. I called my stepdaughter that night, relayed to her what was said, and told her that she had 2 weeks to make other arrangements, and that she needed to drop off and pick up Cullen during those 2 weeks. And if her boyfriend came to drop him off, I would refuse to keep him, and if he picked him up, I would not keep him again. So things were better only dealing with her. At some point, she asked me if I would keep him until January because they found someone, but he couldn't start until then. I agreed. She picked Cullen up and dropped him off. Everything was fine. On New Year's Day, several people sent me a screenshot of a post her boyfriend made on social media about how thankful he was that they could finally leave Cullen without worrying about his safety or his being neglected. He didn't outright name me or accuse me of anything specific, but anyone who knows us knows I was keeping him, and the post implied plenty. I was just happy that it was over. Friday, she called me and said that their new childcare provider had told her that Cullen wasn't a good fit, and that she couldn't bring him back Monday. She asked if I would start keeping him again. I told her that I was sorry for their situation, but I really don't feel comfortable keeping him. Update. My husband and stepson talked to Amanda, and she said that they realized that they can't afford daycare. They already made the easy changes, packing a lunch, giving up fancy coffee, etc. And his dad and her mom are both giving them about $100 a month towards childcare, and they can barely afford it. But they didn't realize that you have to send everything the baby needs. I buy diapers, wipes, formula, bottles, extra clothes, etc. They just handed me the baby. They didn't realize that daycare didn't cover all that. Also, imagine her boyfriend's surprise when he discovered the staffing rates in this very expensive daycare. 1 adult cares for 5 infants. He thought someone would provide one-on-one care, diapers, wipes, and formula for $350 a week. My stepson relayed their apology. They felt overwhelmed by an infant and couldn't imagine someone else could manage that, plus other things. Cullen is going back to daycare tomorrow. Cullen's dad is selling his dirt bike, and Amanda is selling some designer clothes, handbags, and shoes to cover the cost. It'll get easier for them in 6 months when he transfers to the 1-year-old class, which is a little cheaper.